Kashi is said to be the place of liberation, and the Lord of Kashi, not Shiva, but Kalabhairava, is said to be the person who helps you get off the negative emotions and balance the positive ones in life. So to understand what more he can help us with, we will have to understand Kalabhairavashtakam. So today's episode, we are trying to decode the very essence of Kalabhairavashtakam. Welcome to Info Economy.
ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್, ಶೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಹರ ನಮಃ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಪತಯೇ ಹರ ಹರ ಮಹಾದೇವ.
Welcome to Info Economy. Today with us, we are back in conversation with Vidhya Sreenivasan ma'am. Welcome to my show.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very happy to be here.
So, a surprising show. We are going to talk about Kalabhairavashtakam. So, why did you choose to talk about Kalabhairavashtakam?
I think Kalabhairava is a very special deity. Someone who delivers us, someone who gives us liberation. And he is associated for a very long time with the kshetra of Kashi. So he is known as the Kotwal of Kashi. And one of his names is Kshetrapala. So Kshetra means a temple. In normal parlance, Kshetra means a temple. But Kshetra also means any space, right? And ultimately, each of us is a Kshetra. Because we are a space that needs to be protected, that needs to be guided, right?
Okay.
So as Kshetrapala, as the one who protects and provides for a sacred space, he is like a personal guardian deity.
So, if you want to protect your own self, your own family, and Kalabhairavashtakam is the go-to mantra.
Yes.
Right.
And it's also very interesting because Kalabhairava as a deity, he is associated with Shiva. The story of Kalabhairava goes that he was born from the anger of Shiva,
Right.
from the sacred anger of Shiva. And he goes on to destroy one of the heads of Brahma. So Brahma used to have 5 heads and he destroys one of the heads of Brahma, which represents the ego, which represents arrogance. So what happened is that this head didn't fall down from Kalabhairava's hand. It was attached to his hand because he had committed Brahma Hatya, the sin of killing Brahma. So Kalabhairava wanders around everywhere, wanting to be liberated, but this doesn't leave him. And he finally comes to Kashi, and it is in Kashi where it gets detached from his hand. So Kashi is a city of liberation, and then he goes on to become the Kotwal of Kashi. He goes on to become the protector of Kashi, because Kashi, in many senses, is the ultimate kshetra. It is a city of Shiva, right? So he protects the energy that we have. He protects everything about us, and this is also one of the reasons why his Vahana is the black dog. So black dogs are associated with protection. The dog itself is associated with protection, with absolute love. I think that is one of the things that is very interesting about Kalabhairava, because when you have a first introduction or a first exposure to Kalabhairava, you see that the name Bhairava itself means the terrible, the one who's fearsome, right? The one who inspires fear. Bhairavi is she who inspires fear. So Kalam is one of the words for time, but it also means death.
Yes.
Right? The one that causes an end to everything. Right? So Kalabhairava is he who brings about a destruction of the unreal. Right? He is the terrible. But I feel like somewhere along the line, when you get a little closer to Kalabhairava, you also are exposed to his extremely loving energy. You know, the way a dog is, right? So I want to share something.
A black dog is.
A black dog. We were just speaking about this earlier. I was recently at Kasar Devi in Uttarakhand, and there's a small Shiva temple there, and by the side of it there's a small Sanadhi to Kalabhairava. And I was reciting the Kalabhairavashtakam there, and for some reason I was looking at the Vigraha, and he was actually sitting on a dog. So I prayed to him saying, I want to play with a black dog. And for some reason, a few hours later, that exactly happened. I ended up playing with a little black dog, and it was just so beautiful. So I think there is a tremendous amount of love, protection, you know, the energy that a dog gives you, right? And one of the very interesting links here is that, you know, if you find yourself being drawn to dogs more and more, if you find yourself petting dogs, getting closer with dogs, feeding them, I think that is one of the ways to actually get closer to Kalabhairava.
Okay. What if you have fear for dogs?
What if you have a fear of dogs? Maybe look into it a little bit, introspect a little bit, see where it's coming from. Don't force yourself, obviously, but see where it's coming from.
Right, so today we are talking about Kalabhairavashtakam.
Yes.
So, Kashika Puradhinatha. We are here to praise him today. We are here to understand what is Kalabhairavashtakam. So, talking about Kalabhairavashtakam written by Shankaracharya, and as our guest mentioned, it was written in Kashi. So, how does the importance of Kashi is highlighted there?
Absolutely. See, I think Kashi is one of those places where Bhairava is perhaps the most important deity there. Of course, Kashi, the heart of Kashi is Vishwanatha. But when you go to Kashi, the first thing you're told to do is to pray to Kalabhairava, because he is the one who is the guardian of the city. Right? So you go there, you pray for his blessings, and in some senses you also ask for permission to see Kashi, to experience Kashi. Right? So Bhairava is extremely important in Kashi, and a personal experience that I had in Kashi was, I felt like there were so many dogs, like everywhere in Kashi there are so many dogs, but they felt a bit different, almost like they were very watchful. Like, they were making sure everything was fine, they were making sure the city is safe, so that they could go back and report to the master, Kalabhairava, and assure him, boss, all is good. Right, so Kashi is a very special place, and Kashi is the ultimate kshetra. But also, I think we also need to understand that Kashi as a kshetra is also a part of us, because we are kshetras, right? We have every important entity and energy inside us, so it's also important for us to look at what the place does to us, and by extension what Bhairava does for us, right? So Kashi is also regarded as the city that is there on Shiva's Trishulam. Right. So Bhairava is also associated with that. In fact, we will look at it as we get into the Kalabhairavashtakam.
So let us understand how to chant Kalabhairavashtakam.
Absolutely.
And understand decode the meaning of every shloka. Yes.
Let's get started with that. So let's actually chant the first shloka of the Kalabhairavashtakam. It is an ashtakam, so it has 8 shlokas or stanzas, and then there is also Falashruti that we will be looking at. So let's get started. Devaraja sevyamana pavanangri pankajam vyala yajna sutramindu shekharam kripakaram naradadi yogi vrinda vanditam digambaram kashika puradhinatha kalabhairavam bhaje. Alright, so let's look at the meaning of the first shloka of the Kalabhairavashtakam. Devaraja sevyamana. Devaraja is the king of the gods, who is Indra. Sevyamana. Indra serves what? Pavanangri pankajam. Pavana angri pankajam. Pavana means pure, angri means feet, pankajam means lotus. So he whose pure lotus feet are served by Indra, the king of the gods. Vyala yajna sutram indu shekharam kripakaram. Vyala means a snake, and Yajna Sutram refers to the Jaliyo. Indu Shekharam. Indu means the moon, Shekharam means to wear. So he wears the moon in his head like Shiva. Kripakaram. Kripa is grace, and Kara is to do. He who bestows grace upon us. Naradadi Yogi Vrinda Vanditam Digambaram. Yogis, clusters of yogis including Narada. Naradadi Yogi Vrinda Vanditam. They worship him. Digambaram. Dig means direction and Ambaram means clothing. So he who is unclothed, or he who is clothed by the directions, that's how vast and expansive and liberated he is. Kashika Puradhinatha Kalabhairavam Bhaje. Kashika is a very endearing way of saying Kashi. Kashika, Pura means city. Adhinatha, the supreme lord of Kashi. Kalabhairavam Bhaje. I worship, or I adore, I sing his praise, the praise of Kalabhairava of Kashi. So that is the meaning of the first shloka. So let's go on to the second shloka. Bhanukoti bhasvaram bhavabhitarakam param Neelakantham ipsitarthadayakam trilochanam कालकालमम्बुजाक्षमक्षशूलमक्षरं काशिकापुराधिनाथ कालभैरवं भजे. Let's get into the meaning. Bhanu Koti Bhaswaram. Bhanu means sun.
Yes.
Koti, 10 million. It's just a really big number. Bhanu Koti Bhaswaram. Bhaswaram means radiance. He who is as radiant as a 10 million suns.
Okay.
Bhavabdi Tarakam Param. Bhava means existence. Bhava Abdi. Abdi means an ocean. So Bhavabdi Tarakam. Tarakam means something that helps you cross over. So he who helps us cross over the very vast, confusing ocean of existence. Param. Param means supreme. Neelakantham Ipsitartha Dayakam Trilochanam. Neelakantham means he who has a blue throat. So he is synonymous with Shiva. Ipsita Artha. Ipsita means that which is desired. Ipsita Artha. Artha means wealth. Ipsitartha Dayakam. Dayakam means to give. So he who gives us whatever wealth we desire or whatever it is that we desire. Trilochanam. Lochana means eyes. So he who has 3 eyes. Kalakalam Ambujaksham Akshashulam Aksharam. Kalakalam. Kalam, as we know, means time and also it means death. So Kalakalam is he who is death to death.
Right.
So let's get into this a little bit.
Okay.
So death, as we understand it, the most straightforward meaning is an ending. But the other meaning of death is fear, illusion, anything that doesn't let you live in an awakened and aware state. Right? Because we think of knowledge as light and we think of death or a state of, not being aware, of not being awakened to your highest possibility of living in limit, living in lack, living in fear. So he who destroys this fear, he is Kalakalam, he is Bhairavan. Kalakalam Ambujaksham. Ambuja is a lotus, Ambujaksham, he who has lotus-like eyes. Akshashulam Aksharam. Akshashulam, his Aksha means eyes and Shulam refers to the Trishulam. So he whose eyes are as piercing as the Trishulam.
Okay.
He who destroys illusion like the Trishulam. He whose eyes are so powerful that they destroy whatever is inside us that doesn't serve us any longer. Old patterns, trauma, bad memories, anything that is collected in the form of bad karma, which doesn't serve us any longer, which is limiting us, holding us back, not letting us grow to our highest potential. He destroys that. With
You
his
used to say chanting Kalabhairavashtakam, probably on a day-to-day basis, helps us get over all those negative things away from us and move ahead in life.
Absolutely.
So one go-to solution for all the negatives.
Yes. It's very powerful. It has a very liberating effect, the Kalabhairavashtakam. Akshashulam Aksharam. He who is Aksharam. Akshara means that which cannot be destroyed. Right? Now, one of the reasons that the alphabet is called the Akshara is because you can't break it down further. So, Aksharam is that which cannot be destroyed. Kashika Puradhinatha Kalabhairavam Bhaje. So, moving on to the third shloka. Shulatanka Pasha Danda Panimadi Shyamakayamadi Devam Aksharam Niramayam Bhima Vikramam Prabhum Vichitratandava Priyam Kashikapuradhinatha Kalabhairavam Bhaje. The meaning of the third shloka of the Kalabhairavashtakam. Shula Tanka Pasha Danda Pani Adi Karana. Pani means hands.
Yes.
So he who holds in his hands the shulam, which is the Trishulam. Tanka, which refers to a sharp instrument like an axe or a chisel. Pasha. Pasha refers to the rope that we often talk about, the Pasha Ankusha, the Pasha Ankusha, right? So the Pasha is actually a rope which is twisted into a loop and held like a lasso. So when we stray from the path, divinity throws it around us and sort of brings us back to the path. So that is a Pasha. Pasha Danda. Danda means a stick, a staff. So he holds in his hands a Shula, a Tanka, a Pasha, Danda, Pani, Adi Karanam. Karanam means the reason, and Adi Karanam means the original reason or the primordial reason. So he is the original reason behind creation itself. So he is part of the reason of existence itself. So connecting with him helps you connect to the root cause of creation itself, of existence itself. It brings you close to the creator energy. Shyamakayam Adidevam Aksharam Niramayam. Shyamakayam, Kaya means body, Shyama means dark. So he who has a dark complexion, Adidevam, the original god, the original deity. Aksharam, Aksharam we saw means that which cannot be destroyed. Niramayam, Niramayam means the one who is blemishless, who is flawless, the one who is pure. Bhima Vikramam Prabhum Vichitra Tandava Priyam. Bhima Vikramam, one who is majestic, one who is powerful, the one who is extremely, he's extremely powerful, right? Bhima Vikramam Prabhum. Prabhu means Lord. Vichitra Tandava Priyam. Vichitra means a very wondrous sight. Tandavam is the dance of Shiva. Vichitra Tandavam, Tandava Priyam. He who delights in Shiva's Tandavam. He who enjoys watching the wonderful sight of Shiva's Tandava. Kashika Puradhinatha Kalabhairavashtakam. So let's go on to the
Fourth shloka, yeah.
Fourth shloka. Bhukti Muktidayakam Prashasta Charu Vigraham Bhakta Vatsalam Sthitam Samasta Loka Vigraham Vinikvanan Manognya Hema Kinkinila Sakkatim Kashika Puradhinatha Kalabhairavam Bhaje.
Can you please repeat the third line?
The third line. Vinikvanan Manognya Hema Kinkinila Sakkatim Kashika Puradhinatha Kalabhairavam Bhaje.
So it is liberation, having so many tongue twisters.
That's very lovely to hear.
Yeah, because Sanskrit was such a language that was not easy for a common man to understand. Because of all these, I feel so.
Right. So let's get into it. The fourth shloka, Bhukti Mukti Dayakam. Before we get on with that line is actually very beautiful because it conveys the sound that you hear from his waist belt.
Okay.
We'll get into that when we go there. Which is why you have all of those sounds. It's also supposed to communicate the sounds that you hear from his waist belt. Okay. From all the bells there. We'll get there. Okay. So Bhukti Mukti Dayakam. Bhukti means enjoyment, pleasure. Mukti means liberation. Dayakam is to give. So he who gives us both enjoyment and liberation. Prashasta Charu Vigraham. Prashasta is splendorous. Charu is beautiful. Vigraham is form. So he whose form is magnificent and beautiful. Bhakta Vatsalam. Bhakta is the ones who are devoted to him. The ones who have bhakti for him. Vatsalam is loving, very loving energy. Right? Vatsalam is also described as the emotion that a parent has for their child.
Vatsalya.
So that is the way in which he takes care of us. Sthita. Sthita means he who is firmly established, he who is firmly rooted, and therefore he who is firmly dependable for us, he who is not wavering. Samasta Loka Vigraham. He who is an embodiment of Samasta Loka, of the entire world. He who encapsulates the entire world within his form. Vinikvanan Manognya Hema Kinkini Lasat Katim. So Vinikvanan refers to the tinkling sound of bells. The tinkling sound.
You see, Kalabhairava has a waist belt which has so many bells. Like the ones tied around Nandi. Something similar to it, you have a waist belt of, and he just rotates it and these swaras are out of it.
Right. And even when you imagine that you're in his presence, the smallest movement can cause the bells to tinkle around, and the pleasing sound is something that communicates a blessing to you. Right? Vinikvanan Manognya. Manognya is that which attracts the mind. Hema Kinkini Lasat Katil. Hema means gold. Kinkini means bells. Lasat is bright. Kati is waist. So he who has a row of golden bells around his waist that make a pleasing tinkling sound when he moves. Kashika Puradhinatha Kalabhairavan Bhaji. So these were the first 4 shlokas of Kalabhairavashtakam, and we are trying to decode the meaning of all the shlokas from Kalabhairavashtakam. The next episode will convey us the next 4, the meaning of the next 4 shlokas with the Phalashruti. So stay tuned, keep watching Info at Home.